Hi, this is Magic, and this is going to be your general love reading. This is for the sign of Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, and any significant Taurian placements in your birth chart. This is going to be a general reading, so it's not going to apply to everybody, okay? So please take the parts of the video that resonate, okay? And I can, always be picking up with your person. Or whoever they're dealing with, if you're involved in a third party, to just take that into consideration that the energies do sometimes reverse, right? I'd like to thank you guys so much for your support. I did launch a new channel called Soul Therapy with Magic. The link will be listed in the comment section, and I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would follow me on that channel. Okay, so let's get started on your soulmate reading. Now, last month, your reading was pretty intense because your title was Roles Are Reversed. So your person got to taste a little bit of their medicine. What is it? Get a taste of their own medicine? They did. All right. But, I noticed that with my videos, it kind of is a continuation of the month before. It's never like something completely different. It's a story that keeps developing over time. So let's see if the energies for March are still picking up on those energies. You may have to go back and watch it if you haven't already done so. You may have to watch it again since that month has completed to kind of see how everything played out. Okay, so let's start off with your pre-shuffle. Okay, so we're doing Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, Spirit of the Universe. I ask that you connect me to the collective of Taurus. Ooh, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the highest and holiest good and the highest and holiest good of everybody involved. All right, so one more. Ooh. Okay. All right. So this how we starting off, Taurus. Okay. This is detachment. Okay, but this is also head and heart, right? Or heart and head, King of Cups and King of Swords, but it's instability in both areas. Someone's very rigid. Someone is standing their ground, almost like Aries, right? But this is more obstinate. This is more stubborn. Someone's not budging. We have a Tower, right? So because of this, the universe says, what? You're not going to budge? You're not going to move? You're not going to change? Bet, right? So, boom, block. Boom, block. Right? So, somebody, right? King of Cups here, Scorpio energy. It could be water sign, male or female. Someone rising, but this is Scorpio. Scorpionic energy, there's a transformation that needs to take place. Somebody was refusing to transform. Okay. Somebody was refusing to take on some sort of decision and kept somebody waiting. Okay. And somebody was not letting go of some sort of stubbornness or stance or mindset or relationship, a person, a behavior. Essentially, they're hurting themselves. Essentially, this person is betraying you because they can't get out their ego. They're betraying themselves because they're not moving. They're not moving. They're not taking the decision. They don't want to. They're not budging. This could be you. I'm not going to talk to you. Someone may just be holding back communication. But then it's funny because the relationship, this connection, Two of Cups, someone is in another relationship. That's what that is. They don't want to let it go. Yeah. But this is what the universe is saying. You need to make some sort of decision, take on some sort of decision in this relationship, or to change something about it. Now I see here we have somebody is exhausted. You know, especially if you're the person being betrayed, you're exhausted. You're beaten down, heartbroken, in despair. But I also see this as holding on to some sort of holding on to the betrayal, holding on to the pain, not wanting to forgive, not wanting to let it go. And that's preventing you from moving forward into something better. The Tower moment could have been that you found out that somebody wouldn't reciprocate. Someone is refusing to reciprocate or to take accountability or responsibility for something here. And someone definitely lied. They made you feel like something was going to move forward or progress, but they didn't have any intentions of doing that because this person's not changing. They're not budging. They don't want to change, right? Or they're not ready. Oh, they're going to get ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and get your spread. We're going to do a 9 card today, and we're going to pull past, present, future energies for you guys. So start off with the first 3. First card is 8 of Cups reverse. Ooh, 9 of Cups reverse. Got a lot of cups. It's emotional. 2 of Cups. It came out again with the Death card. The Death card starts the present energy. Right now I'm reading horizontally. The first 3 was past. Queen of Pentacles in the heart. And in the present energy, we have the Page of Cups in reverse. Going to the future. Ooh. We have the Hangman. And the 3 of Wands in reverse, falling in the root position. And the outcome. Ooh, wee. Come on. Can they get a break? 3 of Swords. Okay. Let's see what this is about. In the heart of the matter, we have the Earth sign woman. Okay. Not really doing very well if this does represent your energy. See, this 8 of Cups is what I'm talking about. Not wanting to move forward. This is an inability to move on from some sort of event. Horizontally, we see here that there could have been this energy of you going back to a situation or a person, especially because we're Mercury retrograde. It could have been a situation where someone came back. But they came back with, you know, and there was an expectation that this person was going to change, right? And that this person has gained some sort of clarity, or this person has gained some sort of new perspective. And I'm sorry about the motorcycle driving by. They gained some sort of new perspective, but this person came in still stuck. And they came in with death. With the energy of transformation and change. And what happened when this energy comes in, this means that there is a death and a rebirth process that needs to take place, because this talks about harmony, peace, enlightenment. This is a transitory energy transitioning into the 7, you know, and then the 8, then the 9, then the 10, right? Someone is here in stability, just harmonious energy here, an inability to progress forward. And this is, you know, Swords, so we're talking about thought process, or this even can include an inability to communicate or express something. Someone may have had an issue with expressing that they wanted to end this. Here's a 7. We have clarity. So someone needs clarity. So soul searching is needed, but to spark this whole soul searching, in order, someone had to be put on a break. It's like universe comes in and says, we're going to have to put a pause on this. Okay. So something ends in order for you to gain a different perspective, or your person, however it plays out. So you can gain clarity, because here you're confused. Okay. This is mental instability. And then here we have confusion, but this is going to bring you into a space of clarity. Okay. These are both spiritual cards, the 6 of Swords and the 7 of Cups, because you need you need to rely on higher self or your spirituality to get through this particular test. So someone leaves, or you leave someone. But emotionally, you are mentally, emotionally, you're struggling to let it go. Clarify this 9 of Cups. Very overwhelmed. We have lots of cups. Yeah. And then that is preventing the new beginning from taking place, because here I see here the inability to move forward because there's a fear, lack of confidence. I like to look at the Page of Wands as, I mean, especially in the reverse, as some sort of news, but this is unfavorable news, or this is some sort of information that can't come in. Upright, it would be information coming in. Reverse, this information can't come in, either because you're not communicating, or because what's being communicated is unfavorable. Okay, and this information that's coming in it pertains to a decision about a partnership. So here's the thing. Information does come in, but it's bad news. You're finding out someone is picking to invest or to give to someone else. So someone have chosen another party. This could be you contemplating or needing to make a decision and choose another party. So this is how this plays out. This is why there's a struggle to move on. Someone has another option, right? They're clear about this option, but they're having trouble moving forward and putting an end to a situation, right? Because these are the clarifiers for death. And in the extreme, there's an issue with choosing. Now, the issue is, so this is why this person's stuck, or this is why you're stuck. So here's the issue. Emotionally, there's an inability to express oneself. This is 2 of Cups. Yeah. So one party has to get cut. Now, if you have been the person that got cut, you can't move on from that rejection, right? The feeling of abandonment. Clarify the heart of the matter, Queen of Pentacles. All right, so here you go. So in your heart, you're unstable. And you're also acknowledging the fact that you do need to move forward. But you're also wanting, or maybe waiting on communication. Again, for some of you guys, you're still waiting on some sort of communication. Or there may be, maybe you feel this communication coming in. And others of you guys, you're kind of in this, it feels like purgatory. The word purgatory came up. Like in this purgatory where you're choosing not to decide. You're choosing to just stay in a space. It's really hard to explain. I feel like you're choosing to not choose. Don't want to make a decision just yet because you're waiting patiently. You're waiting on the divine to tell you when. When to move, how to move. You've been waiting on some sort of divine intervention. You're waiting. An intentional pause. And I said that the universe put you on a pause. You put yourself in this energy of not moving, resting, observing, taking in the lesson, the experience. And if you were in a situation where you weren't picked, so to speak, I have Gemini energy here. You're still processing. Clarify this Knight of Swords first. You know, there's a little bit of resentment, a little bit of anger, processing, a little bit of grief. You're processing. Yeah. Okay. So this is that, pause, purgatory. And it's kind of that in between of, because this purgatory that I'm speaking of, this proverbial purgatory is like a safe space where you don't have to feel while you process, if that makes sense. It's like you know how when you're something is too overwhelming, you don't want to deal with it, so you don't think about it. This is different. You're thinking about it, you're reflecting on it, that you're processing the emotions, but it's like an outer body experience. That's weird. Somebody got to put in the comments what this is about. It's like you're processing it, it's happening to you, but you're like outside looking in as it happens. It's like literally looking at it from a different perspective, from like you have like a bird's eye view, right, of the situation. You're gauging it, right? You're gleaning this situation, and you're gauging the impact that it has. And now you're taking the time to process it, like data, analyzing the data, right? Like a data analyst. A whole bunch of data is given to you, and you're having to analyze it, and you're having to filter through and find the data that's pertinent to the healing process. It's like a filtration process, filtering out the parts that are not needed here. And it requires you to go back. And for some of you guys, you had to go back and you had to kind of relive it or repeat it. Repeat whatever this experience was. Some of you guys got back in a relationship with someone knowing or having clarity, but went back just to make sure. Okay, I just want to, what is that? I just wanted to make sure before I make a decision. I just wanted to make sure before I completely purge this particular situation, this emotion, these emotions, or completely cut off this person. Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands. See, this is that purgatory energy, but it's like reflection, right? Because sevens are spiritual. It's a spiritual awakening. It's reflection. It's intuition. Reassessment, reassessing a situation. Mercury retrograde. Having to go back to make sure something, make sure whatever you feel is in alignment to how something played out. Like, did I do that because you could have been okay? So here it is. Let me give you an example of what I'm seeing. And this is funny because I have a real life example of this. But okay, you dated someone a few years ago. That relationship didn't work out. During the time, it was possibly toxic. Maybe there was some cheating. Maybe there was some communication issues. There was real love there. But there was other issues, right? And you guys broke up for some reason or another. This person comes back, Mercury retrograde, and now you're like, did it not work out because then I wasn't in the right space mentally versus now mentally I'm in a different space? You're trying to figure out if where these feelings originated from and if they are authentic, or if the feelings you had then are still in alignment to the feelings you have now. You're trying to reassess. Did I break up with that person because I was still heartbroken because of the person before them? Or did the reasons I broke up with the person, were they valid reasons? Like, you're trying to figure out if a decision that was made in the past, you're trying to figure out, was the reasons behind that decision valid? Or did you make that decision because of impulse, because emotionally you were in a space of vulnerability or instability, or mentally there was a lack of clarity? You're trying to figure out if you should go back or give someone another chance, or if you should eliminate a situation once and for all. So there's a lot of reassessment. I will say this with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands, the energy that I'm picking up from these two cards is, you see, this person's facing the truth. This person is facing something head on. Or knowing that they need to, whereas in the past, they were willing to give up. And they're realizing that, see, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, did I just give up because in the past I wasn't strong enough? Did I give up in the past because I wasn't wise enough? Did I give up in the past because I was too stuck on Joe Blow or Jane Doe? You're trying to see if you're trying to justify some sort of action. Essentially, scales are being balanced here, because when there's imbalance, this is karma, obviously, too. Someone's coming back because they're realizing, right, that they went through some experiences and they're feeling like it's their karma, and now they're having to reassess decisions that were made. They're having to reassess and reflect on how those decisions came with consequences. And they're having to analyze these decisions and take on a different perspective, right? Or because of their decisions and the consequences, they were able to take on a different perspective. And now they're in a space where They're sitting in that energy of taking accountability or acknowledgement of it. Because in the past, there was no acknowledgement. In the past, it was just, I guess, living in a moment, or pushing things to the side, or decompartmentalization. This person has been put in some sort of purgatory, to sit with those emotions, to feel and process them, so they can understand why they behave the way they behave, or for you to understand why you made the decision you made, or why certain situations happened the way they did. You're just sitting in those emotions. And during this processing, you're transforming, you're healing, right? Because that's what this energy is in the present. Yeah. So there is a exclusivity. And there is isolation, not necessarily because you don't want to have, or you don't want to collaborate or work on something or fix something. It's this isolation is needed in order for you to get the answer that you've been seeking or waiting on, the green light to come out of the purgatory, right? To come out of this pause or this waiting, or period of gestation. Somebody feels like someone feels like they're being punished. And I don't want to say that you're being punished, or your person. I want to say that your person is being forced to take accountability. And when they get you know, the information or the green light, then the cycle, So essentially, they have a knowing or an acknowledgement that the universe is in control now. The universe is in the driver's seat, not you or not your person. This is a knowing. And if you don't know this, you're going to know this very soon. The universe is in control. You're not. You're in purgatory. Okay, so the universe says, slow down. Okay, you weren't slowing down, so we're going to slow you down. I want to show that to you. It's behind this card. Slow down. You got out of control. The universe is like, let's put a pause on that. Slow your ass down. Slow your roll. Slow your roll. Give me ooh, that came out strong. So the energy that came out is like attract like. That makes sense. Speak the language of love. Like attract alike. If you long for more love, be more loving. And this one says, loving words have the power to change lives, including your own. This is about the law of attraction. This is my law of attraction card, like attract like. And this is my love language, my communication card. This card represents speaking the language of love. This card represents first, I want to acknowledge that there's twins on this card. So this is one of my twin flame cards. But another thing that I want to acknowledge, outside of the fact that these are twins, I want to acknowledge the moon. And I want to acknowledge that just for the first time, I heard this is telepathy. intuition for me, and how you and your person are mirroring each other. You and your person are essentially in some sort of purgatory. I keep saying purgatory, and I know it sounds bad because you're probably like, what is that? Purgatory. It's like you feel like you've been waiting ever for communication to come in, or for something to change, or for something to end, whatever, right? That I feel like this is like a really good example of divine timing. Divine timing is at play, right? Divine timing, because essentially both of you guys are not ready to come into union, to heal a union, to end a union, however it plays out. Sometimes you, for example, if this is resonating more on the partner side, and this partner's in a relationship, you're trying to figure out why they still with the karmic, because there is some sort of divine timing taking place. This person has to stay in this purgatory type of waiting period in order for them to get some sort of illumination, or to get the green light that it's time to make a decision, it's time to move forward, or time to take some sort of action, and vice versa. Even if you're not the person in the third party, you may be the person that's been put in this purgatory to sit in these feelings and to process what has happened so you can heal. Because if you don't heal, even if you move on into another relationship or into a reunion, it's still going to be the same relationship patterns, the same toxic behaviors. Things don't just change overnight. It takes time for someone to completely transform, especially if they've been doing something for a very long time. Demonstrate love. Find out what's important to those you love and act on it. Yeah. Finding out what's important to those you love. This is why someone has to sit in their feelings so they can get that knowing, that clarity, that green light from the higher self, from the universe. Hey, miracles and blessings. Yeah. How were you demonstrating love? Or how was this person demonstrating their love towards you? How was this love being reciprocated? Obviously, there was some sort of imbalance. You're reflecting on that. You're reflecting on why, the how, the when, the what happened, how it happened, why it happened, when did it happen, with who did it happen with, right? But in the near future, we have the Page of Cups in reverse. King of Wands. Here's the action. Roll card. We're clarifying that someone is going to put an end to a vicious pattern, a vicious cycle. Bloop, 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 bloop. Someone is saying, I'm tired of feeling heartbroken, of being rejected. I am tired of not being able to express. I'm tired of not being able to love myself. I'm tired, right? Of repeating the same cycle over and over and over again. King of Wands. Be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius involved. Clarify the King of Wands. Yeah. Someone's taken off their blindfold, and someone is not in this holding period, not at the crossroad, not in purgatory. Someone is now clear. Blindfold off, mask off, or her mask off. Now a decision can be made. Now someone has the truth. Someone's clear. Sometimes this card, seen as the, spy, or this card is deceit. But also this card represents clarity. So this is someone that does the right thing. This person, is someone that when they believe something, you can't really make them budge. You can't change their mind. Someone has made up their mind. Someone is clear. But with the sword in their hand, they're ready to cut something out, right? That's that cycle. Yeah. Yeah, that could be ego. Clarify. 6 of Wands. I'm going down to 5. Ooh, wee. Clarify. 5 of Wands. There we go. Boop. And no more mental conflict. No more conflict with others. No more ego, pride. Okay? Someone. Ooh, bottom of the deck. Someone is no longer stuck. In the beginning. Because the 6 of Wands is, I can't move forward because something was blocking me. Oh, that block has been removed now. That's over. You done went through your purgatory. You done felt all you needed to felt. You done suffered all you needed to suffer. That's over. You're not stuck. Okay, you were stuck, but you're not stuck no more in the beginning. Very nice. Your outcome. Got the Strength. See? Now, 3 of Swords. Someone's definitely dealing with a Leo. Okay? We got Virgo. We got Aries. We got Libra, Pisces. We got all signs. Scorpio. Ooh, Chile. Okay. King and Queen of Wands here. You're overcoming. Overcoming. So we have here, right? Outcome. We have the 3 of Swords. Very heavy energy. Being clarified by the Strength card and the Queen of Wands. I like to look at the 3 of Swords as something is ending. And what is ending is something that rendered you powerless, rendered you weak. Clarify. Made you unhappy. A long-term experience in a relationship that was unfulfilling. In a relationship that you was too afraid to let go of. You didn't have the green light just yet. You didn't have the clarity just yet. Right? But you were forced to sit in your feelings, to reflect, to think, to feel, because you didn't want to feel before. And now that you have clarity, that you got that confirmation from the higher ups, you can now make a decision. And that decision is you're going to end something that doesn't serve you. That could be the relationship. That could be a behavior. That could be ego. That could be promiscuity. That could be closing off your heart, being afraid to love, hurting other people, jumping into loveless relationships and essentially hurting people because you're hurt. It says everything has its gift. There is a blessing in disguise here. I need you to tell me about this queen. What's the energy on this Queen of Wands? Somebody's confident. Love is all around you. And it says there is love everywhere all the time. Acknowledge this as true. Somebody had created space for themselves, right? They kept themselves stuck in their little purgatory. And they convinced themselves that they can have love, that they weren't lovable. You may have convinced yourself that nobody wanted you, that you were just going to get rejected anyways. And you had to sit with that. And you had to think about that and why you felt that way. And when did it start? How did it start? And who made you feel like that? You had to sit with all that, those feelings. And once you were able to sit with those feelings, or your person, whoever, however it applies, you got some sort of clarity. Because see, in the heart, Taurus, you have a lot of time alone to nurture yourself. And and this is fast, right? This is fast movement. The more you it's like I'm trying to articulate it. The more you isolated yourself, the more you pulled back, the more you I want to say submerged in those emotions, and people didn't understand, because people like, what's going on with you? Because the more you submerged yourself in those feelings and those emotions and that state, we're going to call it purgatory. The deeper you went, the more you healed. The deeper you went, the more you healed. You sure did. Love is all around you now. You understand that there's love everywhere. So you're learning. You learned why you were stuck. And you learned to get unstuck, to detach from whatever was keeping you in these deep, or in this very heavy energy. It's like, think of a ball, what is it? Ball and chain. It's like you're dragging around this baggage, right? 8 of Cups. And it's slowing you down. And the more you drag it and the more you ignore it, it's there. The more you ignore it, the bigger the ball gets. And the heavier it gets. And the more it drags you down to the point where you can't move. You're stuck with it. And because you can't move, you gotta face it. You gotta chip away at it until you can release yourself from it. And this is essentially what was going on, okay? Somebody in this storyline is going to get some sort of clarity. And boom, there you go. Get out of jail free card. You got your confirmation in March. You got your green light that you get to come out of this jail, purgatory. Okay? You get to come out. Love is here now. Love is all around you now. You're free to love now. You're free to go out there and have your new beginning with your person, or they're free now. This literally could be that they got out of jail. Somebody could have been in jail, or somebody was in a relationship, a long-term experience, and they're finally able to make a decision to come out of it. A commitment. This could be you or your person. This could be finally coming out of those deep, dark emotions and finally re-emerging to rejoin the world. Clarify, love is all around us. One more. Love that. Nine of Swords in reverse. Love that. We have, we had the Nine of Wands. I'm going to look at this as, I like to look at the Nine of Wands in reverse sometimes as returning. It's a departure. It's flighty. It's unpredictable. It's impulsive. But I like to look at it as I'm returning. I'm back. Right? Back in action. Boom. The catalyst. What was the catalyst here? This almost reminds me of a match being lit. Like, you take that match and it's right? The flame lights up. And it's like, if you were in the dark, there's light, right? It's like being in a dark room and someone turns on the light and now you can see. Like, you were in a room and you couldn't move. You were afraid to move because you were afraid that you might bump into something, and someone turns on the light and you're like, damn, the door was right in front of me the whole time. I could have just reached over and opened it, right? Something like that. I hope that makes sense. All right, your reading was release. You're being released. Okay. 10. Being released. The light got turned on. You see now. Yeah, you were in that purgatory. Y'all call it the dark night of the soul. Blah, blah, blah. Right? All right. So I want to pull one more card for you guys. So I feel like both you, your person and you are going through this energy of having to sit there in your little jail cell, proverbial jail cell, so that you can have some time to think about some things, right? That's a different reading. All right, this one's flipped. Let me fix that. All right, so I'm going to be using the Energy Oracle deck to, these readings are super long. I'm just going to come in here and do some quick readings, blah, blah, blah. Yo, listen, these readings are deep, deep. Oh, what did I say? What did I say? Purgatory. I didn't want, jail sounds so harsh, but jail, cell, purgatory, whatever. All tied up. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. Oh, Temple Path in reverse. Yeah, you were stuck. You were stuck. You were stuck. Couldn't move. Couldn't proceed. Couldn't make any decisions. You weren't allowed to. It felt like it. You were. You were. But it felt like it. It felt like, oh, I can't do nothing. I'm stuck. The universe is punishing me. What did I do to deserve this? Something like that. Ooh-wee. So she's stuck behind these gates. In the reverse, I'm going to read the first sentence from the book, and I'm going to leave y'all with that. This was a different reading. It's going to apply to whoever it's supposed to apply to. Don't leave me a comment saying that it was confusing. If it's confusing, it's not for you. Okay? Let's leave it at that. Don't have to tell me. It's for whoever it's meant for. So we're looking at guarding the gate, and it says abundant prosperity and staying safe, right? And in the reverse, it says if this card is reversed, it indicates the happy. I just want y'all to see that because I don't want y'all thinking I'm making shit up. See? If this card is reversed, it indicates the happy choice to open the door to a more spiritual pursuit. And that's what I was talking about. Sitting there in those feelings. But essentially, sitting there in those feelings is sparking a spiritual awakening. Is giving you the clarity or the enlightenment, right? You may have been obsessed with worldly issues before, but your readiness to go deeper is now here. Many people believe that they cannot live in a material world, make lots of money, and engage in spiritual priorities at the same time. But you now realize that this isn't true. In fact, you can bring this wonderful spiritual focus to any endeavor. And when you do, you'll find that beyond your garden, the universe is willing to fill your life with beauty and joy. Expect the unexpected, for joyous synchronicities abound. Yeah, the universe wanted you to talk to them. The universe wanted you to sit in your little purgatory so that you could reconnect to the divine, to your higher self, worrying about everybody else but your connection to the universe. So you got put on timeout, Taurus. Okay? You're going to have your money. You're going to have your relationship. You're going to have your beauty. But you need to have spirituality too. There needs to be a balance. I love you guys. Please let me know if this reading resonated. If it did, leave me a comment. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.